Welcome to the Sunrise Daybreakers tribe, where we make a connection. We make a connection to nature, to source, and to community. And that community is you. And I thank you for joining me this morning. I want to talk about how I came to love myself this morning. It is Love Friday. I think every day needs to be filled with love. It needs to be filled with gratitude and positivity. And sometimes that's really hard to do. Now, I have found for myself that for a very long time, I thought that I loved myself. Well, I'm going to contribute that to ego. It was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm better than you. I know more than you. I've done more than you. I can remember telling people, hey, I did this. And I was telling truthful experiences because I was blessed. And I did do a lot of fun stuff and a lot of great stuff within business, and traveled and got to see a lot of places. But I tell stories, and I just knew that people were going, this guy is so full of it. And I'm sure you've met that kind of person. They've been there, they've done that, they've done it better than you, by the way. So they know more than you. And it's a huge ego. And it's a way to boost your ego, is to talk about yourself, and in like a bragging type of fashion. Now, I know that I used to do that. It used to be important because that's what would make me feel good. I certainly wanted them to say, oh, you're really awesome and I like you. And so I would derive my happiness from that. And, I'm a good person. But what I found, honestly, ego is good. We need to have some ego. But when we become egotistical and we think we're better than somebody else, that's where I'm going to draw the line today, because I know that I'm not better than anybody else. I am just the same as everybody. I think that we're all connected. Even the nature, even the trees, the palm trees, the ivy over here growing on this oak tree, the birds. I think we're all connected. Some of us, we want to believe, we have more intelligence than a tree or the ivy or a lizard or something like that. But I want to give you a personal experience here. Some of you may know, I struggled with alcohol as well as drugs for many years. I used that as my coping mechanism to take myself actually out of reality and make it much more comfortable and carefree and not have to worry about my stuff, But as a result, I also wanted help, so I ended up going into a recovery a couple times, as a matter of fact. But I remember one of the programs that I was in. It's an interesting program, and I'll just say I learned a lot. I hated it at the moment, but boy, gosh, after, being able to digest all this information. But I remember I went in there with this holier than thou, I'm better than you attitude because of what I was seeing around me. It's like, these guys are losers, And it's like, I'm not that much of a loser, am I? Well, I remember that I was put right on the front row, had to talk in front of everybody because I thought that I was better than everybody else. And so that helped me recognize that, I'm not better than anybody else. But one of the things that they taught me, or that they were teaching, I should say, was, hey, you're not great. You're not special. You have, but, and so I always thought, man, that just sucks. I'm not special. But they were trying to get it through my brain that I'm not different than anybody else. They maybe used the wrong words, but the fact of the matter is that we are special. As much as they wanted to make me believe I wasn't special, I'm special, you're special, we're all special. We all have these seeds of greatness. And when we recognize that, and this is how I came to love myself, is that I recognize, what? I've made a whole lot of mistakes. That's what landed me in the recovery. So when I recognize that mistakes can be made, but now instead of doing the same thing, expecting a different result, that I actually change my thinking and at that point, I was recognizing it seems like everything I knew or believed was the case, our our moral code, our belief system. The subconscious is what it is. And I recognized that I was doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And I would never get that different result unless I just started doing things differently. 180 degrees of exactly what I thought was the truth. I then came to realize, well, actually, if I look at it from 180 degrees, the other side of the street, back at where I was, maybe that's the better way to look at it. And so I had to retrain my thinking, which I did. And I've been working on this for a very long time. It's not an easy thing. But so what I had to do was forgive myself. I had to address all the things that I did wrong and where I'd hurt other people, including myself, my friends, and my family, and the businesses that I might have been working for, all of that stuff, from a personal, from a relationship, from a financial standpoint. I looked at it pretty comprehensively and looked at all the stuff I'd done wrong. And then we had a ceremony. And, well, first thing I had to do was admit it to somebody else. And so I admitted it to the entire class of whatever, 20, 27 people. I don't recall how many people were there. But the point was, we took it out to a fire. Everybody had their junk, their maybe at that moment regret. And we burned it up, and it burned up, and the ashes went in the air, and I was freed. I was freed from my past. It was a huge burden lifted off of my shoulder. And I had forgiven myself then. And so I was free. So when I forgave myself and accepted the fact that I had made mistakes, my life changed. Now I had to take more than just that for steps. I mean, there's a lot of stuff involved in this, okay? But that's where it started. So then, okay, now I really am okay, you know? I recognize I'm not better than anybody else, but I do have seeds of greatness, and then together as a community and a team, we all have these special talents that we can develop and that we can enhance and make that a great contribution to the community. And together as a team, things can get really good. So that's what I wanted to share about, is forgive yourself. Every day that we wake up is a new opportunity to learn, to grow. I recognized that I had to draw my strength from those difficult, adverse experiences that I'd had. And certainly mine weren't maybe as bad as others, and maybe more than the next guy. Because we all have different levels of how far down do I have to go before I finally recognize I got to do something different. Start with loving yourself. Start with writing the stuff down. You know, I learned a lot of this in AA. And recovery, and doing those 12 steps. And that is the fourth step, admitting that you were wrong, writing it all down. Step 5, sharing it with somebody else. It's a beautiful thing. I'll never, ever regret having made the choices that I'd made anymore. And even though I don't feel, I'm not proud of the fact that I hurt myself or other people and wrecked all these relationships and lost all that material stuff, which honestly doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I'm working on that one for decades. Who cares about the material stuff? It comes, it goes. Big deal. That's not what counts. What counts is me loving myself, because when I love myself and I'm good to myself, mind, body, and soul, being, utilizing a healthy routine, then you know what? Everybody else around me ends up benefiting. And so I had to be selfish for a while to be able to get myself to the spot where I am right now. And that is loving myself and loving you and appreciating the fact that you come to listen to these videos. I'd love for you to stay with me. At the end, there's an opportunity to really connect to the nature, to listening to the birds. They're singing to us. Watching the sun come up, it is a brand new day, and we can paint the canvas of this any way we choose. I choose positivity. I choose love. I choose to love myself. I choose to love others. I choose to give of myself freely and not have to expect any return because I did it. Okay? Now, obviously, we all need to make money, so we need to take our special talents and utilize that to help us make money so that we can pay these bills. So thank you for joining me this morning. I tell you what, I'm going to be saying a prayer. We're going to go out front here. We're going to watch this sun coming up. And then I'll say this prayer. I like to interact with the viewers. I want to ask you to share the video out to your friends and the groups that you belong to. I want you to tell me, hey, where are you watching from? I think it's so awesome that we're able to go on through a telephone and do a live video and be able to touch people all over the world. The world's a smaller place because of technology, and I love it. I think it's really cool. I mean, I know Sarasota's a really small place when you get down to it, because you'll run into people you never figured you would. They'll pull up to you at the stop. And it's, yeah, there's, as many as 500,000 people that might be here in the summertime, or actually during what we call season. But so the world is a smaller place. I love technology. I don't like the glitches that go with it, but sometimes, that's all part of the deal, right? Where there's good, there's bad too. It just depends on how we look at it. So I want to say welcome. I want to say thank you so very much for coming and joining me this morning. It is a beautiful day. We're here in my backyard. It is a green space. I love it. There's a lot of wildlife out there. It's just a lot of fun. We got possums and raccoons. We got this raccoon. This raccoon's been raiding this bird feeder daily, and he just cleans it out. I try to make sure that the birds get enough bird seed too as well, and the squirrels, they love it too. So that's really cool. I love it. So we're going to head out front now. This is a beautiful bush right here. I tell you, it's got some beautiful flowers going on it. Even though it's like, wow, what, May? Almost June? The fact of the matter is, spring has sprung. Everything's growing. Baby birds are being born. And then, of course, the sun's coming up this morning. I love it. I just absolutely love it. We have mockingbirds flying all around here. I don't know if you caught that yesterday. We had a mockingbird show up. It was so cool. We got it back out there. It's back in its, Mom and Dad got it. Everything is good. And I'm just going to tell you this, if you happen to come across like a little baby bird, what I have found out is this. Okay, we can just put it back to the area where we found it, and the parents will come back for that bird. And they'll take care of it. They'll nurture it to the point, because these little fledglings, they can't fly yet. Hey, it's awesome. So, saving lives. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so I just want to say, hey, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Remember to share this video out. We appreciate you. Go back, check the replay. We were talking about loving ourselves. We were talking about forgiving ourselves. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to drop this down a little bit, because I'm going to step out front here. And I'm going to say that a lot of my happiness derives from the fact that I know that, number one, I'm saved. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Savior. I believe that He died on the cross for my sins. And through Him, I'm forgiven. And I love this. I've lived by it since I was saved, as they call it, born again at 20 years old. Doesn't mean that I always walked with Jesus hand in hand, But I love that footprints in the sand, because when I wasn't doing the right thing, there's only one set of footprints in that sand. Well, that's Him carrying me, even though I wasn't being there for Him. So I believe that Jesus died, and I love John 3:16, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. I own that. Now, if you don't own that for yourself, that's okay too. You might consider it. I'll tell you that. I'm just sharing my feelings, but what I do know is that I honor God. God is the omnipotent, omnipresent, creative thought that is everything, that created all the stuff that we have around us. You can call it different names. You can call it God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you want to do. Christ consciousness, if you believe in that. I don't hold anybody hostage because they don't believe it and say, you're wrong. No, that's just, we all have our own beliefs, but I can tell you this, is that we are given the opportunity to decide how we want to live life. When we step out of our comfort zone and when we take risks, then we can learn. And if we look at it from 180 degrees from the other side of the street, or however you want to phrase that, you can get a different perspective. And that's what I had to do. I had to look at it from the other side of that street and say, you know what were you doing wrong? It took a lot of personal self-evaluation, and then it just took simply forgive myself. But I do give all the glory because I turn my will over to God. I give the glory to God. And I'm going to pray now. I'm going to be praying for you. I'm going to be praying for everybody, even the people that don't see this video. We want to pray for them. A lot of people are suffering right now. They're stricken with anxiety. They're stricken with fear, uncertainty, anger. You know, what I'll say is this. When we just trust in the fact that every experience has an opportunity for us to learn from and allow ourselves to maybe look at that and accept the situation as being exactly as it is, then our lives can change. So, dear Lord, I'm going to pray now. Thank you so very much. Thank you for this opportunity, Lord, to be able to be alive. Thank you for the ability to be able to have a telephone that has a camera on it that I can be able to broadcast, Lord, that I can share my thoughts. I want you to be with us all as we go about our day, as we head into our weekend, that you keep us safe, that you heal us from our worries, from our anxiety, from our fears, that you allow us to be able to grow and to learn and to accept the fact that we made mistakes and that it was okay that we made those mistakes, and that we can try and never make those mistakes ever again in our life. And that we can go on to greener pastures, as they say, Lord, so that we can go to these new pastures of life and in a journey of just working towards enjoying life on a daily basis and to be achieving our dreams and our goals. Lord, I ask that you would heal us, particularly from those people that are suffering with addictions, that are sitting there drunk right now, and they're happy. Lord, help them to recognize that even though that might seem like bliss, that it's not bliss, Lord, that it's not reality, that it's alternate reality. Help them to overcome those things that are holding them back from enjoying their life, Lord, from being present in the moment, having a sober, conscious reality. Lord, I ask that if we're suffering from depression or anxiety or any diagnosis of a mental illness or disorder or learning ability, that you just lift us up, Lord. That you allow us to be able to do the best that we possibly can with what we have. I ask that you be with everybody today, Lord, particularly those that have lost loved ones, to have some sense of peace and comfort come into their life, and for them to be able to learn to celebrate life instead of be angry that life was taken or that it was lost. Lord, I just ask that you be with all of us as we go about this weekend. Allow us to be able to have fun, to enjoy our families, our friends, our children, strangers, be able to share our love with others and enrich their life. And I release these words to the universe. The universe, in fact, supports me in these truths. And so it is. And I say, in Jesus' name, I say amen. I also say namaste. And I honor thee, and I appreciate you. I'm so glad that I have these opportunities to be able to get up, welcome in this brand new day. We're going to watch the sun come up. I'm going to address some of the comments in just a minute. And if we're not friends, send me a friend request. I want you to also, Stephen Smith, SRQ, and Stephen spelled with a PH, STEPHEN, SMITH, SRQ. I want to get to know you. I want you to belong to this group that we have. Life Begins When You Start Living. It's a fantastic group of support and positivity, and that we're there for each other, and that we're just trying to uplift each other. And there's people like Mary Sterling who always put positive stuff in there every day, and people like Rachel Johnson, who's one of the admins that make us think about what will we do about this situation. I love it. So if you're not a member of Life Begins When You Start Living, inspire people who inspire others, send us a member request. We'd be happy to have you join us. We also want you to like the LWN Foundation page on the Facebook. We want you to go to the website, lwnfoundation.org. We've got some new blogs on up there, how to volunteer. It's an experience about how I volunteered and how that super enriched my life. And so not only did the people that I was volunteering for benefit, but I benefited in huge ways, because it's interesting how that worked. Go ahead, read that. That's under the blogs. Stories like Charles Prinzen, you know, how he went through some very dark times. Such an awesome guy. We call him Coach. That's what he goes by, because he was a coach for 30 some odd years in basketball. He loves kids. I love kids. We want to help our kids. We want to support our kids. So I love him. Take a look at that. That's a great blog as well. You can also go and watch our previous episodes by hitting the live stream tab. Boom, straight to YouTube. We want you to subscribe. Put some comments in if you want comments. Tell us how we can make this thing better. Tell us what you want. We want to hear from you. Your voice, your comments, your concerns, your desires for us and how we can help you is super important. So let us know how we can help you better to help you become the best you can possibly be. And with that, I will address some of these issues. Are they issues or are they comments, Stephen? They're comments. Okay. All right. So we got some comments, and I'll address those now. Emmanuel, thank you so very much for joining us this morning. Emmanuel is our director of marketing. Such an awesome guy. He's got a great story. There again, you can go to YouTube, check that video out, get to know him. He shares with us, love yourself. You know, enough to take the actions required for your happiness. Enough to cut yourself loose from the drama-filled past. Enough to set a high standard for relationships. Enough to feed your mind. I think mind. Enough to feed your mind and body in a healthy manner. Enough to forgive yourself and then move on. Thank you, Emmanuel. And that is a great synopsis of what we've just been talking about. Forgive yourself. You know, we all make mistakes. It's okay. We can move forward. Sandy, thank you for joining. All the way from Melbourne, Australia. We appreciate you. That's the only verse I can remember. I'm not sure which one it is. John 3:16. There's so many of them. And then actually John 17, right behind it, is I am the way, the truth, and the life. I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. But he is. He is for me, anyways. Emmanuel also says, would like to know what you would like to see more of. Let us know. You can sign up for our newsletter. I got to just do this. What's going on over there? There was a little fight going on there. There was a little fight with the mockingbirds. You know what? They are super highly protective. Super protective of their nest. Their nest is right in that bougainvillea. That's where that baby came from. All right. So, we had a little street fight there. We do want to know what you think. We want to know how we can make this better. Sign up to the newsletter as well. So we're going to start doing a newsletter, and we're not going to spam you. I promise you that's not going to happen. It's not like that. That way you can be advised about the upcoming events that we are going to have and things of this nature. So Sandy, welcome. Adam Shelton, welcome. We appreciate you. Emmanuel's always got the wise things to say. I love him. So he also says, because one believes in oneself, one doesn't try to convince others. Because one is content with oneself. We don't need the other person's approval. And that's the truth. We don't need to derive our happiness from some other person saying, oh, you're good. Oh, I like you. And yeah, I'm not saying don't have a little bit of an ego. We got to believe in ourselves and say, you know what, I am a good person. Yeah, that's call it ego. It is. But not egotistical. It's not I am better, because I don't think that anybody is better. We just all have these different special talents that we possess. And that's why teamwork works so well, because everybody's got a special thing that they can do that they're really good at. And then together as that team, Boy, I tell you what, they put points on the board, correct? Yes, they do. So welcome Adam as well, and Emmanuel, thank you so very much. Peggy Bro is with us as well. Well, I really appreciate everybody that's taking time to come and join us. I'm going to just have a quiet time now. I'm going to allow you to just enjoy the birds. Hopefully we don't have any more mockingbird street fights out here this morning. I don't know what was going on there, but I'll say that was probably protecting their nest, because they'll take on any size bird. It does not matter. You come near their nest, they're coming after you. Very territorial. All right. So we are going... Maria, good morning. Maria, thank you so very much for joining us as well. Let's just enjoy the sun coming up here. Let's just recognize that it's a brand new day. We can paint that canvas any way we choose. Let's choose. How do you want to paint your canvas today? Let us know where you're watching from. We appreciate that. We want to know. And in the meantime, let's just listen to the birds. Welcome this brand new day in. Make that connection to nature. I'll be back in a few moments. We'll just have a peace and quiet time here. You can use it for meditation. You can use it for enjoying the view. You can repeat your affirmation statements. Those things like, I am worthy, I am good, I am love, I love myself, I am a good person, I share my love with others, I forgive myself. Things like that. And you say those affirmations consistently, day in, day out, and your thinking will change as a result of that. In a very simple form, that's NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. That is CTB, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. We retrain our thinking. We release the negative. We give ourselves the love that we deserve. And we retrain that subconscious thinking so that the tapes, when things happen, comes up, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm happy, I accept this as being what it is. Beautiful stuff. All right. Thank you. I'll stop talking. Let's just enjoy the birds and the sun coming up. I'll be back shortly with a closing statement. Thank you, everybody. That sun's just coming up over the roof of this house across the street. It is a beautiful day. You're beautiful people. You have these seeds of greatness within you. Sharing love is so awesome. You know, when you truly love yourself, it's really easy at that point to start sharing that love, to share that love with other people. You know, when I forgave myself, I finally got to the point where life started getting more enjoyable. You know, some people say, I've heard it, you know, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Well, there's only one way out of that. It's to change it. So it takes action. It takes a lot of work. It takes dedication, consistency, but it takes visualization of the intention that you have for your life, and then for you to take action on that and go after it. I want you to just enjoy life. I want you to have a great, happy Friday, happy Love Friday. I want you to have a great weekend. I want you to know if you're feeling down and depressed, it's going to be okay. And it's only going to be okay if you allow it to be okay. I want it for you. We prayed about it. Let's make it happen. Let's just let the universe provide all the answers for us, because it will. But we have to want it. And I want it for you. Thank you so very much. I hope everybody has a great day. Let's do something fun this weekend. That sun's coming up. I'll take another look here. Yeah, I pinned Emmanuel's comment here. Okay, so I do have a quote, personal quote, because I had asked Adam to do that for us, because, you know, he is a brilliant mind. And I wanted some brilliance from him. It's really good to surround yourself with positivity. And like he said, he gets positive quotes every morning. That's a great way to do it. All right, so let me get my reading glasses on. Oh, and I left them, so let me just go to this. He says, oh gosh, Steven forgot his glasses. And you know what? This is going to be tough on me. He wants to stop lying. Oh gosh, Adam, I apologize, because I can't make it out. I got the sun blaring in my eyes. Everybody read Adam's personal quote. Thank you for doing that, Adam. You're so awesome. I believe in you. I believe in everybody that takes time to watch this. I believe that we can just nurture those seeds of greatness. I'm so happy for everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Remember to share this video out. Send it to the friends and the groups that you belong to. Remember to like the LWN Foundation. We appreciate you, and we'd love to have you part of our Life Begins When You Start Living group. Inspire people who inspire others. Together, we shine a bright light in our communities. And so, with that, I am Stephen Smith. I'm coming to you live here from Sarasota, Florida, on the West Coast in about Central Florida. It's a beautiful day. Let's make it a great one. I'm signing off for right now. Enjoy your day. Have a great weekend. And let's put a smile on somebody's face. Let's do a random act of kindness. I think I'm going to write that down and say, what kind of random act of kindness did you do this weekend? We'll all do it, and the world will be a better place as a result. Let's all take that task on. Let's do something random. And it doesn't have to cost you money. It can be a smile. It can be saying hello to somebody. It can be listening. It doesn't always have to be talking. Give some time to somebody. Let's make their day. Have a blessed one. We'll see you soon. This is Stephen Smith, and I am signing off from Sarasota. We'll see you soon. Bye now.